Hi, my name is Tanvir Masood, and in this video lesson, I'm going to talk on English language grammar, and I'm going to focus on preposition and conjunction under English language grammar lesson. Let me first talk on preposition. Prepositions are basically those words which are actually considered to be location words. Location words or situational words. I mean, the place where exactly certain words have to be placed before and after a noun. That is actually, and those are actually prepositions. Okay, prepositions takes care of which place or which part of the sentence a specific word has to appear to give it a proper meaning. That is actually the job of a preposition word. Prepositions there's ample amount of prepositions, ample quantities of prepositions, okay, which we use when we speak and write. But there are certain fundamental preposition words which are actually used almost every time when we are speaking and writing. If we don't have a good amount of knowledge and experience of using prepositions, we actually are going to make a lot of mistakes in speaking English language properly and in writing as well. Many a times we actually don't focus on prepositions and conjunctions, and most of the times we actually try to mix up both the concepts and people do actually speak incorrect English, and at the same time they do write kind of incorrect English as well. So if we actually try to focus and try to kind of differentiate between conjunction and preposition, we are going to make sure that we don't actually commit mistakes or errors while speaking or while writing. Let me first, like I said, focus on preposition. Preposition is actually location word. Okay, the fundamental words which are actually considered to be prepositions are in, at, into, with, and to, for. Right? These are the basic preposition, basic location words. Okay. Other location words include beside, opposite, under, on. Right? Then adjacent, opposite. I've already mentioned that. Then we have got other important location words, including kind of can say beneath. Right, this is also a location word. So there are a lot of fundamental words. Okay, there are a lot of basic words which actually can be categorized under the category of preposition. Okay, so there are like different scenarios under which we are going to use location words, these preposition words. Okay, it's not that we are going to use these words randomly. There are certain situations and scenarios under which we are going to use these words. Like for instance, usage of the word at. When we're using the word at, we have to make sure that we use it at a specific or in a specific scenario. At is generally used when we talk about specific places. For example, Tom works at the Wilson's office, or maybe Jerry works at Charlie's office. So when we are talking about Charlie's office or Wilson's office, so it basically means I'm talking about specific place where they're working. Okay, and when there's a mention of specific place where an individual is actually working, it basically means that we have to use at. When we are actually talking and referring about any specific place, we have to ensure that we always use the word or the preposition at before the noun. It's imperative to use at. Okay, take another example. His school is located at London, England. Or you can, if the address is mentioned, if it is more precise, his school is located at Nottingham in England. So whenever there is any specific place mentioned, or when we are talking about any specific place, we have to make sure that we use the word or the preposition at before the noun. Now let's talk about another very fundamental preposition word, that is into. Into is actually a location word, and it is generally used when we are talking about a specific direction or kind of specific place but it won't be correct to say that it's actually a specific place against which we use into. Rather, we would say that a specific direction is like the scenario under which we actually use into. So, like, take for example, the ball fell into the river, or the kite fell into the pond. That means when we're talking about in specific direction, okay, we have to use the word into. When the word into is actually used, we have to infer, we have to conclude that we are actually referring, we are actually mentioning, we are actually talking about a specific direction. Okay, when something is like deep inside, we have to use into. When we talk about into, we are like talking about something which is like deep inside. It's very imperative, very important. Let's take another example. The cat fell into the river, or the cat fell into the well. When you say the cat fell into the well, that means the cat fell deep inside the well. Okay, so this is like something very fundamental, and we have to ensure that we actually use into when we are talking about any specific direction. Let's take another very fundamental and very kind of popular and often used preposition, and often misunderstood and confused preposition, that is on or an on. We generally don't know when actually we have to use on. Most of the speakers, non-native speakers especially, whose first language is not English language, they actually use you can say misunderstand and miscommunicate most of the times. All right, when it comes to the usage of the word on. On is generally used when we talk about any specific surface area, or on top of something, okay, or the upper part of something. When we're talking about, we have to use on. Like, take for example, the cat is sitting on the table. Okay, that means the cat is sitting on top of the table. It's not sitting beneath the table. It's not sitting under the table. We don't say the cat is sitting in the table, or we don't say the cat is sitting into the table. Both are like incorrect usages of preposition. But when we say the cat is sitting on the table, it means the cat is sitting on the surface of the table, on the upper part of the table, on the top of the table. Okay, that's when we use on. All right. Take for example, the dog is sitting on the roadside. When I'm saying on the roadside, that means on the surface of the road. Okay, on top of the road. Okay. So that is actually when we have to use on, when we talk about the surface of something, right? When we sit on the table, we don't sit in the table. Okay? He sits on the chair, she sits on the chair, the dog is sitting on the table, the man is sitting on his chair, okay? He is sitting on his couch, right? These are the basic places, okay, where we have to use on. These are the scenarios under which we have to use on. Same way, when we talk about specific days, for example, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like we have to use on against it. He was born on Sunday. He'll go to his place on Sunday. There was a meeting last Sunday, but there is no usage of on here. There is a meeting on Sunday. Okay, so when we talk about specific places, we have to use that. When we talk about specific direction, we have to use into. When we talk about the surface of something, we have to use on. When we talk about specific days, we have to use on. So this is extremely important. You have to realize this when and how to use these fundamental types of prepositions. Let me talk about another very important and most often used and most confused preposition, that is with. We don't exactly know when to use with. Okay, with is actually a very basic kind of word, and it's actually a preposition. And many times we don't exactly understand when to use with and when to use by. With and by, these are like very close to each other and kind of misunderstood by individuals. Okay, and that actually is very common about non-native speakers and speakers who are actually not having first language as English. So people who don't have English as the first language, they often actually misunderstand the usages of these prepositions. Let me actually talk about with now. With is actually that kind of preposition when we talk about any specific agent. It's actually a preposition of agent, okay, and preposition of kind of instrument as well, okay. It's actually used with something, okay. When we talk about two nouns at the same time, we actually use with it. He likes to eat salad with rice. So there are two nouns here, salad and rice. So we have to kind of join both these nouns with the usage of a preposition, that is preposition of agent, okay, that is with, W-I-T-H, with. Right. There's another situation when we have to use the word with. He came with his father last night. Right. So here you can see that there are two nouns, okay, though they are different types of nouns. It's actually a kind of pronoun though, but if I say Tom came with his father last night, that means there are two nouns here, okay, Tom, and there is another noun that is father, Tom's father. There are two pronouns, so we have to kind of join these two pronouns with the usage of another preposition, or a preposition which is like preposition of agent, okay, which actually can join both the nouns, okay, that is with. So now I hope you have got a fair idea about the basic types of preposition. In the next video lesson, I'm going to talk about different types of preposition. I'm going to give you examples of those types of prepositions, how you can use them in simple sentences, and never again make any kind of error or mistakes while writing or while speaking. So my video lesson is going to help you in speaking and writing correct English language. Thank you.